Hello to your listeners out there. This is the Hot Seat NSG News, and today we have Mamagan Ajo Sreku the Fourth, Mafo Traditional Area Queen Mother online, and this is particularly in respect to the devastation that the Volta River Authority water spillage exercise is caused in her community and many of the surrounding towns and villages. I would like to say thank you for agreeing at the very short notice to be on air with us. And also, we want to
Yeah.
say our apology that due to the pressing matter, we did not give you the chance to have your translators, whereby you will speak in ever to the understanding of some of your um community. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me at short notice. I hope to answer all your questions. Maybe one day we'll interpret for the indigenous people. But reaching out to the world is also very important. So English for now is a good medium. Thank you.
Thank you for your understanding, and we will just go straight to the point. We believe you are in Muffa at the moment. I mean, of course, offline chat. We understood that it was challenging for you to get back to Muffa at the shortest call of your people due to the devastation. But as
Yeah,
we speak, you are in Muffa.
yeah.
What is the scene like at the moment?
The scene is really heartbreaking. We have almost 50% of the community underwater.
50%.
Almost 50% underwater. And once you enter Mepe, it's as if it's a war zone with refugees seeking a place to run to.
Oh,
It's chaotic, it's pathetic, it's heartbreaking.
um, I mean, we've been NSG News. We've been on top of it, getting updates from our contacts in Mefe and its surroundings.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
our understanding as of a day ago was that the water was still rising, and
Yes.
even the stipulated safe haven is almost in reach of the flood.
Yes.
Right.
That is very true. The water keeps rising. Although from yesterday in the afternoon, it's been rising at a slower rate than the previous days. But it's still rising. And then even the way to the safe haven is flooded. And now the water is so close to the safe haven. We don't know whether it will soon take it over. We don't know what's going to happen next. I wish they could tell us how much more water is coming so we can prepare for it. How long more we have to go through this. Those kinds of information will help us plan ahead of time, but they are not forthcoming.
So, talk about information, updates. How is it like? How much have they involved you as the Queen Mother with the? I mean, prior to the release and as the devastation has taken place now, how is information
Mm.
reaching your office as the Queen Mother? How will you put that? Is it up to date, or is do you know what is going on at all?
My office did not receive any information at all prior. I heard the announcements in town like any other citizen,
For
but
your
it didn't seem alarming enough. I
mm,
heard the information on the information centers, and one would expect that when the time was close, whoever matters will come to town and make sure evacuation has taken place before the water is released. But that did not happen. It's only the announcements I heard. My office did not receive any notification at all. Information is not coming through my office at all.
right. We're not sure why, but from some of the contacts we have in Mefe, a couple of days ago, there
Mm.
were some updates to some. The update we really received suggests
Yeah.
the information was going to what they call stakeholders, warning the communities Now,
Yeah,
from what you're saying, you did not get receive such notifications. But even
not
if
at
you
all.
have received those notification, what is the provision with those within those updates to what the action course of action will be for the people? Do you know?
All we heard was, no, I have no idea. All we heard was move to higher ground. Move to higher ground. And I asked, what's the definition of the lower ground and the higher ground? What's the geographical area called the lower ground? Who is transporting who to the higher ground? Because from what I see, everybody is on their own, packing their goods and being charged by small trucks to cart them to the so-called higher ground. So there was no evacuation or transportation arrangements, not that I have seen, even though I've not been informed. I've not seen anything to that effect. What I've seen is people taking charge of their own things. What is left of it?
Now, before I ask, because this call is purely for us to understand from um, anyone that is available. I mean, we've
Yeah.
attempted to reach some of the district officials, which is to no avail
Mm-hmm.
yet. But then, from again a reliable source, there have been some
Mm-hmm.
simulation exercises prior to this
Yes.
event. Do you know of that?
Yeah. Yes, I heard about the simulation exercise. I only knew it was a simulation exercise when this occurred. The people were not educated that it was a simulation exercise. The announcements went round, move to higher ground, move to higher ground. Some of them moved and then ended up saying that nothing happened. So imagine a boy crying wolf. Today, move, 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 nothing happens. So when you say move, nobody's going to move. So
Mm.
the simulation, according to the people in town all the time, was not well communicated. They thought that somebody deceived them. So the second time, they were not going to take it serious.
I mean, from what you're saying right now, we at NSG even thought the simulation was more about a demonstration exercise, not actually running a false alarm to see the response of the people. We actually thought it was a simulation exercise, maybe a computerized exercise to actually demonstrate to the stakeholders how the water is
Yeah.
going to rise when the
Mm.
spillways are open. But from what you're saying, it was actually a physical exercise where people had
It,
to rush somewhere.
yes, it was a physical exercise. I had calls. Mama, assemblyman says we should go up, down, we should go to higher ground. Some people actually moved, some people ignored him. 3 days later, they said it was a false alarm. It was done on the ground with no proper explanation that it was a simulation exercise in preparation for what is coming,
So,
as
so,
far as I know.
so in those, I will take us away from this simulation exercise in a minute. But before then, that means these
Yeah.
simulation exercises did not actually give the organized groups, the Queen Mother's office, the Paramount Chief's office, and all the organized groups any indication the sort of preparation they should make to mitigate the situation. Is that what we are looking
No.
at?
Yes, that's true.
Because when I'm going to,
Personally, I did not receive any information. It was when the announcement went round that people called me that
wow,
they've been asked to go to higher ground. They
wow.
didn't know at that time it was a simulation.
Okay, so there is no
Hmm.
stipulation that even in your own small ways, as the Queen Mother, the Paramount Chief, the Mepe Development Association Group, and all other groups, and maybe possibly NGOs, specifics given
Hmm.
to you as to preparedness for this kind of events.
I wouldn't know whether the Development Association and the NGOs and other people had information.
Okay,
Personally, I had no information at all.
so your office could not
If they
give.
did, they didn't share with me.
Okay, so your office don't have. There's not been any attempt to actually create some sort of support system for the people as it
Not
stands.
at all.
Okay. Right.
Not at all.
We will move away from there because we've seen a press release from the Mepe Development Association. We are hopeful to speak to the chairperson of the Mepe Development Association, and as they
Yeah.
gave some very insights to what's going on, and they are concerned as well. So we are still studying that document, and we will come up with some information. But I want to take you away from this simulation. Now the situation has happened. The devastation is caused.
Yeah.
What is
Mm-hmm.
your concern in the now? What do you want the government, the district chief executive, and all the stakeholders that matters or agencies that could help the situation? What do you have to say to them?
The primary thing I need now is proper information, because my people are calling me every now and again asking questions I don't have answers to. For
Hmm.
instance, how long are we going to endure this? Is there more water coming? What has government prepared for us? Why is it not forthcoming? What allocation is being made for us? We are hungry. We are thirsty. Of course, as chiefs and queen mothers, we've managed to procure some water, but we've not been able to get some food yet. We don't know whether VRA has made provision for that. What I've heard is that those at the safe haven got some food, but how much food? We don't know. What kind of food? I don't know. Because you should go through as the leaders of the community to know where help needs to go to. Because the safe haven is there. Only a few people are there. The population of Mepe is huge. People have moved in with family members. They become burdens to them. But because they are not at the safe haven, no provision is being made for them. Because if I have a brother up there, I would go to my brother's house, not to the safe haven.
Right.
But who feeds me when I'm there? Who takes care of me there? All that has not been considered. And that is because there's no communication between the traditional leaders, my office especially, and those in charge of matters.
I.e., the government representation.
The government representation of the districts and all that.
I would like to read something briefly here. A press release by VRA that is on their
Okay.
on their Facebook page, which seems to
Mm-hmm.
suggest that they have made presentation of relief items to Central
Okay.
Town, North Town, Keta,
Mm-hmm.
and Anglon districts at
Mm-hmm.
Adidome, and this was on the 11th of October. That is 2 days ago. Do you
Yeah.
do you have you seen any relief items come to Mepe?
I've not seen, but I've heard. I spoke with the DC yesterday in the morning, and he said the previous night he went to the safe haven to send them some rice and some oil. And he said that he knew that wasn't enough, that they were going to come back. And I registered my displeasure with how he went past us to go and do that and not contact us for who needs what. And he promised to do better next time. I don't know when the next consignment will come, and I don't know how much they have now.
Um,
But he only went to the Kizito campus where the so-called safe haven is.
right. But the safe haven as it stands seems to be under threat because the water levels are rising and safe haven is within reach. As as for reliable information that the NSG has received from Mepe at the moment, the safe haven is within reach of the flood.
I have the same information, and that is why I'm asking, what are the plans for evacuation in case this spillage continues and the situation gets worse? Where are the transportation? Where are we going? Where are we taking our people to? All these we must know, but nobody is engaging us.
Right.
Nobody is engaging us.
This, as I did say, the hot seat said that it's going to be a short, brief conversation just to throw more light out there to
Yeah,
the state of affairs. You are in Mapa at the moment.
yeah.
You are at
Mm,
the grassroots of matters, and we should believe you much more than any other speculative information coming from any area. So
mm-hmm,
uh, we will not keep this too long. We hope this is sufficient for us to put out there, but we'll come back again where we'll have a longer conversation as to where the
okay.
failures were in this issue, what could have been done
Mm,
before the whole spillage exercise began and what
Yeah.
we should be learning from. But that we will keep for the
Yeah.
future. But for now,
Okay.
do you
Mm.
have you been informed of any in these relief items? Is it only rice and
Yeah.
oil? What about tents for the people who are displaced? Because there are videos of houses that are completely submerged. Some of the communities that build what we will call atakpame building, i.e., the made
Mm.
of clay, those buildings have been
Yeah.
flattened, and
Yeah.
it's just by God's grace that some of these people were actually these events took place during the day. The houses would have
Mm.
collapsed on them and would have been having
Yeah.
some casualties by now. But thank God,
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any casualties, i.e., human life lost yet. But properties
Mm.
is in abundance. The amount of properties
Yeah.
destroyed by this exercise is in abundance. So,
Yeah.
are you aware of any? Have you been told that there is provision for tents for people to temporarily house themselves?
Not at all. But where they've been kept is a secondary school, so they have the dormitories and the classrooms. Another badge is at the RC primary. They also have classrooms as shelter over them. But in case we have to evacuate to a drier place when it gets worse, I don't know whether anybody has provision of tents and stuff like that for the people.
Any information from the MP, Honorable Ablakwa?
No, not at all.
Has he been in touch with you?
Yes, I met him on Wednesday, but he was on the move. He promised to call me back so we sit and talk. I've not seen him since.
He's on. He was on the move, just like the
He was
flood,
on
or
the
what?
move distributing stuff, yeah, and taking pictures for social media.
I don't want to comment on that one. Taking and to that effect, I've been on his page and I've seen videos and photographs of him all over the place. I have my reservation about
Yeah.
those. I don't know how that is going to help the
Mm,
people who are stranded, who need
yeah.
something urgently than photographs being placed
Mm,
on social media. I'm sorry, but the
yeah.
hot seat,
Mm,
the hot seat has tried to be very nice with the Mama Ajo Seraku the fourth is normally very hot on the hot
mm,
seat, but we have
yeah.
very pressing issues to address. And thank you for your time. And we hope this is
Thank
sufficient.
you
And
too.
any specific call you want to make out to the government official, to the president of Ghana,
Yeah.
the district chief executive, to the
Mm-hmm.
MP, and any
Yeah.
NGOs that could be of help, and the National Disaster Management, NADMO. What do you want to
Yeah.
say to them before we go?
Yes, please. I would like to tell them to communicate better, give forth information, and be transparent and accountable. Just in case there's anything coming to the people, let's not use it for politics. These are people's livelihoods and homes and lives at stake. What is for the people must come to the people. They must be very transparent and accountable to us. We will hold them to it.
Thank you very
Because we can't
much.
go begging when government has provided for us. So they should
Exactly.
open up about what's coming to us. Let's use it. If it's not enough, then we'll reach out to NGOs to come to our aid. But if it's enough, we can't go begging. They should be transparent and accountable. That's my last word.
Thank you very much, Mama Ajosraku the fourth, Mepe Traditional Area Queen Mother. It's been a pleasure talking to
Thank
you. We will be back to you again as this issue is just the beginning. And from what we understand, it is not getting any better. People are shouting
you.
from every angle. And we pray and hope that the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, the regional minister, the MP, and the district chief executive, and all the agencies that are meant to be responding for this emergency situation, which the hot seat personally will leave our comment. This is unacceptable. This is not a natural
Very.
disaster. This is a planned exercise and shouldn't
Yeah.
have gone this way. We have failed as people, we have failed as engineers, and we have failed as a government. And the people need us now. Now, I mean now, like never before. Thank you, Mama Sreku the fourth. We will be back.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye for now.